If we're gonna look at specs alone, this CRAFTSMAN R&P reciprocating saw should be awesome. 0 to 3,200 RPM on speed level 2, 0 to 2,300 RPM on speed level 1, a 1 1/8 inch stroke, which is pretty awesome. Small tool, under 5 pounds. We have an LED light up front, non-adjustable shoe, pretty much great grip, nice short tool, feels comfortable. We're gonna go through this guy top to bottom and see if it lives up to everything they say it will. One of the first things I usually do with any recip saw when it's new, grab onto it, let her rip high speed with nothing in the end. I want to see how far up my arms those vibrations go, and this one has some pretty significant vibrations. So what I want to try to show you is how much. So let's just watch how this jumps around. Pretty decent jumping. This is this normal Milwaukee Sawzall. Not as much. And to give you an idea, here's the Super Sawzall. This dude will rock you. It's got some power, but it also jumps around. Not as much vibration dampening there. So you can see it has a little bit more to it than the Super Sawzall. Also seems just a touch slower. This guy comes with a bimetal blade for wood. Inserting a blade in this is simple. Turn the wings, put this guy in. Can we put it in upside down? Yes, it can go either way. So very nice, easy to insert a blade. Even if it's in all the way, you can still get at it. Again, this shoe will move, but it's not adjustable in and out. So let's see how it cuts with the stock blade. This is some sappy, nasty wood, and we got some burning action going on in there. It didn't cut great on that. Let's get a different blade on. What always seems to work a little bit faster in this nasty wood is a pruning blade, although we get a ton of vibrations back from it. Goes right through it. So we have a normal 4x4, something that's not super wet, something that's just average. We have the DeWalt Elite Series. This is meant for nail embedded wood. We have a couple nails that are in the end. Let's just see how this goes through it, and then we're gonna try out the Milwaukee Axe against it. Big difference when we get to normal wood, huh? Now let's run a clean Milwaukee Axe through and see how this does. Very similar results. Because we have a Diablo bimetal blade. No carbide on this one, but it's meant for wood and nails. Let's catch the end of these nails and see how it does. Not bad at all. In fact, some of these normal non-carbide blades actually work much faster when they're brand new. They seem to be a little bit sharper, but they dull quicker. Let's do one more cut and get right out of the nails. Pretty impressive. This is a Milwaukee Home Wrecker, which is a multi-material blade. We have a little angle iron set up here. This was not my favorite tool to do this, but let's give her a go. Little vibration, mostly because I can't keep a lot of pressure forward on this sawhorse, and that's causing the vibration. But actually felt vibration through this while using it is not that bad. All right, we have a mystery blade on here, and I'm going to go through a normal 2x10, one that's not all sappy. Big difference, huh? Well, most people are going to use that dual speed for like stainless or something like that. Let's just cut it down in half and see the speed difference. Again, I'm using my hand to try to keep this forward because I can easily push this around. You know, it's one of those things where the speed makes a big difference in cut in wood, but man, it's nice to have that dual speed. See what I mean about the vibes? But if this piece was a little bit more solid, this thing would have ripped right through it. We wouldn't have all that tear out. But at the same point, you see some of that at the job site if you're cutting down a wall and the wall gets away and doesn't have a way to just plant itself to the ground. So you can see what kind of power this thing has, and it still is very comfortable when we're using it like this. You know, it's because I'm down here a little bit, I get a little bit more in this area of my hand. But if I was a little more level, either way, I don't think it matters. But you do have this little curve here that if you're using this in weird ways, can get to your hand a little bit. Vibration is there, no doubt about it. And it still seems like a nice saw. It's getting a touch warm for the little bit of use that we've had on it. By no means have we pushed the saw, but you can see some definite hot spots in there. We're showing a max of 106. It's not like it's like super hot, but you can definitely feel the difference in the areas that we're looking at or feeling or putting our hands on the saw. You can see the battery in the handle's a little bit hot. Not much. That could be from me actually just hanging on to it. Battery's a little bit warm. If we move this guy around, usually we'll see hot spots in the front. 115 degrees there, not horrible. Many days when we are testing tools that use some sort of a blade, I often feel like we're testing the blade rather than the tool. Then you have to take the tool and see how it feels with each blade, and then the speed. It's tough because it's a difference in wood. That first wet wood would have really made this saw look really bad. But as we move through different cuts, you could see that the saw actually performed quite well. And we used everything here with a 5 amp hour battery. You could bump up to a 9. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference in what you're doing or how you're cutting. It's still going to take that same blade and maybe push it just a little bit faster, but it's still going to do basically the same thing. And I think that's the beauty of this saw in the CRAFTSMAN line, is that we're not talking about a big HD tool that needs the big 9 amp hour battery. It can survive well with a 4, 5, or 6 and still do the same work. That said then means we're not getting the same amount of power that we would out of like a super sawzall. I don't think anybody out there is expecting it, but we are getting close to the same vibrations from it. So if you were going to use this tool all day long, wear some gloves and be ready for a little bit of vibration that's going to come through. With that said, for the little bit that I did there, it wasn't bad at all, and I could easily take a couple more hours of that without having any weird feelings in my hands after it's done. Get the right blade. I think that shows through everything here, is get the right blade depending on the wood that you're working with, and the tool will help you through it. Everything here is good. The LED light works great. I wish it had an adjustable shoe that could help me save blades a little bit more and get in the right section of the blade. Again, not a huge deal, but it's one of those things that would just work with blade longevity and a little bit extra. It's always hard for me to get a lot of pushing on this when I'm on that sawhorse, but either way, variable speed trigger on this model is DeWalt smooth. I absolutely love the variable speed trigger. The speed selection is out of the way up top. It'll work great for most people if they need it. Not sure they will. Other than that, this is a basic saw. It doesn't have a rafter hook or anything like that, so it's just pretty basic. It will work with the VersaStack system if you wanted to put something on the side of it so you could hang it. Other than that, pretty decent tool. Not one of the best recip saws out there, but definitely not at the bottom of the pile either. This is a very good recip saw if you're in the market for it and you're in the CRAFTSMAN V20 line and you find this at a good deal. I think I'd definitely pick it up, especially if I wasn't using it professionally for a long period of time. And this is the part where I'm going to ask you to go down, give us a like in this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell if you haven't. We always appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day.